The questions, please ask questions throughout the presentation on the Q&A section. We will only answer the questions at the end of the presentation due to us recording it or to just show later on again. So we will take questions, but we'll only answer it after the presentation. That's all from me. I'll hand over to Mr. Alexander.
Okay, thanks very much, James. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me well. So for those that can't see me, we've got the Thailand office in front of us right now, which is why I'm stood up at the front. So Mauricio and James have asked me to present the details of the Black Friday sale, which we hosted on the 19th of June, a couple of weeks ago. So this presentation is just to show you what was the Black Friday sale, why did we do it, and what was the results and the lessons that we got out from running an event like this. So if we go forward. Support. One moment. Okay. So the concept of the Dot Property Black Friday sale which, as I said, was the Dot Properties first online sales event. We invited developers to pay 50,000 baht, so it's the equivalent of 100 euros, to enter into the event, enter a project, and max 3 listings per project. And it's to be a targeted collection of Thailand's biggest and best discount deals that we'll reveal just for the 12 hours, so 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on that Friday the 19th. So it's supposed to be a consolidation of the market's biggest and best deals. So there's lots of deals floating around from all the different developers. We wanted to be the one that brought those to one place so that people were confident that they found them on our site. And for that reason, we also targeted a maximum of 20 to 30 projects. So it had to be a very targeted event. We didn't want people to throw in every listing on the market. It had to be the best that were out there available to give confidence to the users to actually dial into the event and give us the volume that we needed. So to that aim, the discounts were, we asked the developers to give us discounts that were over and above what they'd normally be confident to advertise. So the biggest discounts possible. And why did we want to do it? So if we look at one of the main reasons was the PR aspect of this. When we were in lockdown, we had a discussion amongst the whole team, amongst the whole office, about what we were losing out on from not hosting the events. And one of the key things that we were losing out on was the media coverage. So our ability to talk to the media and gain this PR value that we get from each event that we host. So we wanted to re-inject that. Also, in lockdown, it was very easy to become a little bit low and complacent about the market, about our own activity. So we wanted to inject positivity back amongst ourselves, amongst the clients and buyers, and show in general that the market's there, that there's positivity and the buyers are there, even in a tough situation such as the COVID lockdown. And it's an adaptation. So it's about how the events team during lockdown adapts. So of course we wanted to bring something online to something that worked, a focused event online. So this is the first wave of the PR and marketing looked like this. We produced these logo boards and took them round to the developers for the reason of getting out there again, making sure that we were seen to be standing with our developers and make sure that the public are aware that their showrooms are open now. We hit the right time. So we wanted to see lots of happy, positive faces from our clients with Dot Property and show that association is still there and strong. And this displays some of the banner advertising with the countdown clock that we used to generate the pre-event registrations as well. So this slide shows the way that the national media picked up the story really, really well. So that's what we wanted. We wanted the national media to get hold of a positive property story that's coming from Dot Property. And they ran this across all of these national medias that we recognize here. So we've got Bangkok Post, Nation Thailand, 21 national titles in total ran the story to publicize the event beforehand. And our PR team calculated the circulation of just over 5 million, and the PR value of that, which we achieved, around about 4.8 million Thai baht, which is just around about 137,000 euros. So that was the impact we wanted pre-event. And this is the approach from the beginning. So the first thing that we had to do was create the landing page to collect registrations. So we were clear that we wanted to arrive on the event day itself with a group of registered buyers ready to go. Those were going to be our hottest tickets. And we knew that we had a start at 9 a.m. on the Friday then. So this registration page was used to do that. And we collected just under 2,000 registered buyers who were ready to go on 9 a.m. on Friday the 19th. And we had to build a completely new event page. So what we can see on the right side there is the Black Friday event page, which was a simple layout just showing all of the discount listings with view more details available, and of course an easy to use inquiry function to get inquiry volume to our developers, which was the name of the game. And this was the tool that we used to generate or incentivize the pre-event registrations. We called it the sneak peek. So I think this worked really well in terms of generating those buyers to register in advance. So what we did on the Thursday, we alerted them to the sneak peek, which was open 3 till 6, the day before the event. We essentially opened the page up for them to take a look and make the first run of inquiries, which they did. So the advantage of that was that it extended the sales time without compromising the concept of Black Friday, but just gave us a little bit more time to get more volume of leads to the developers. And it also is quite a useful idea if you want to run Black Friday to have that as a testing time as well. So it allowed us to open the page up before the event day, iron out any difficulty, ready for the Friday. So yeah, on the day itself, we had to make sure that we had a strategy in place to communicate what was going on. So we used social media a lot, which we'll look at in a second. We emailed updates on the sold units. So our first sold unit was from Homes Thailand, which was Jenny. And they sold this unit at Ananda. So we used that in the email campaign that was due to go out in the afternoon, just making it clear that the sales are rolling through and inviting more people to enter the page. 2.9 million. Oh, really? Yes. Yeah, that's right. And the last look, so this was another way that we used to extend the sale somewhat. Again, it's difficult, or it's very pressurized to get all of the lead volume condensed into the 12 hours. So we used the sneak peek to open it up a little bit early, and then we used last look to keep it going a little bit longer. So we just sent an email out to those people that had registered. So all of that registered base, not the entirety of our database, but the registered base, to say thank you for taking part, and just advising them gently that the page is open for another 24 hours for them to continue browsing and at their leisure. So Facebook Live, we knew that we wanted to inject Facebook Live into this event right away to get some personality and get some momentum actually on the day itself. So for some of the developers in Bangkok that we really wanted to be involved, we incentivized them by including live broadcasts from their project on the day. So we started actually at 9 a.m. We went live to open the event. So that was really important. So of course, Facebook Live enables us to send notifications to all of our followers automatically. So at 9 o'clock we were open, and we did a piece to camera just explaining the run of events for the day. And then this was the sequence at which we went live throughout the day. So at The Cloud, Beatnik, Tonglaw, these are the project names, Lavik and Modis. And we can see from the number of views that we got was very, very effective. Around 18,000 views on the day were to the Facebook videos. And the sales, some of the walk-in sales that we were able to get was fantastic. So asset-wise sold from walk-in leads from Facebook Live. Risland, Cloud Tonglaw, sold from walk-in leads from Facebook Live. So really, really important concept to keep within the event. If you look at, this slide shows some of the behind the scenes. So if you go on this slide, we've included the links. So if you want to just have a brief look at how those, how the Facebook Live worked on the day, I invite you just to open those links and see what we did. The basic format was we around 10 minutes before we were going to go live, we showed the run of the events for the day. So we wanted to keep that promoted across the day. Then we went live, and at the end, we had a shot showing a summary of the best deals at this unit, at this project, which played for a further 10 minutes. And the operation of Facebook Live, we had around about 10, we hired around a crew of 10 to basically operate the live show. 2 cameras, professional MC, and of course we had to use face shields as the precautionary measure. But yeah, this was well received, and hopefully we'll do a lot more of this outside of the events moving forward. So this page is the most exciting page. So client sales on the day. So this is the biggest result we've ever had from a single event. And we managed to achieve direct results for 4 clients within that 12-hour window, which was fantastic. So asset-wise, we're the big winners. They sold 8 units on the day, totaling 20 million, or 575,000 euros. Risland was next with three units at 12 million baht. Ananda at 2 million. Again, so that was a unit that we entered into the sale through our agency, Homes Thailand. So rather than the upfront fee model for that development to enter, we worked on a commission basement for them. And you can see we got 3% of the sale that came through there. And another one for Sena. And what we'll see is, as well, coming through as we continue to talk to the other developers that were involved, is that they're making sales just at a slower rate. So things are progressing with higher priced units, for example, things that take a little bit longer to progress. So hopefully we can add to that and update total sales in a month or so. And this is what we wanted out of the event. We wanted to make sure that we had a strong message after the event of positivity. So these 2 quotes represent that. So asset-wise, the guys that sold their 8 units, that's their quote from their assistant vice president. Again, just saying that he's delighted with Dot Property, selling so many units, and how it reflects upon the market and Dot Property's ability to work within that market to find the best buyers that are still there and still motivated, which is what we wanted to get across. And as a summary there, we've put some of the key stats to take away. So number 1 is that units sold, 13. Value 38 million baht of units sold in that 12 hours. The pre-registration, as I said, just under 2,000 buyers. We delivered 212 leads in that space, 18,000 Facebook Live views, and the pre-PR value alone is at the 4.8 million. So we expect that to double because the post-PR is currently running. So we'll get the value of that consolidated within the next couple of weeks, but roughly that's going to be double that figure for the total. And event day traffic, this is a figure that we're also able to put into the post-event PR. We wanted the story to show the spike, that this was our biggest traffic day, and it certainly was since the COVID. So you can see that the orange spike is what Black Friday injected into our traffic numbers on the 19th of June. So we created this event hoping that we'd be able to replicate it again. So either here again, perhaps on the more commonly associated Black Friday date in November, but also we only did it in Thailand this time. So we we've got the opportunity to put it into other countries, of course. So what are the kind of lessons that we learned from this first one? But this is a positive one, that we saw that maybe buying behavior is shifting towards not needing so much physical contact, because we saw decisions being made online from clients who are reaching our buyers through the Black Friday. Again, the importance of Facebook Live, that was very, very effective. We'd keep that into the next events that we run. The event page listing sorting, we started the day sorting that by the biggest discount. So the biggest discount down to the lowest percentage discount on that page. In our halftime meeting, we switched that to price, low to high, which proved actually more effective in showing what the users should expect when they open the page. We put the lowest discount that was on any unit. You had to have a minimum of 15% discount to be able to play the game. So that was making sure that this really was a very focused high discount event. So the discounts actually on the day ranged between 15% to around about 45%, which was the biggest discount that we had. It's very important to have a clear how it works info campaign pre-event for the buyers, because I think it's easy for us to get busy with creating the event and asking people to join, but we need to understand that once they register, they need to be told what they need to do. What do we want them to do? Get ready. Be ready for what? And what they're going to see on the day. I think that's something we can improve on for the next one, to better work our registrations and make sure we keep them focused. The event day strategy itself is super important. So that's about making sure that we're directing as much of the traffic, site traffic, into the event page as we can on the day. Communicating to our registered buyers, if they've not joined us yet, why not? Come and join us, making sure there's a strategy around that. And keeping it under review. So it's good to set 1 or 2 meetings during the day to see what's going right, what's going wrong, and just adapting that. And also here at the Thailand office, we implemented a Black Friday in general. So all of the sales teams were offering Black Friday discounts to all of their clients for a range of the products that we have across the business. So the online products, for example. So that brought in a wider sense and broadened the scope of Black Friday. And then we've put on here that over 200,000 baht of invoices were signed on that day, which is a fantastic result on top of the client results. And that's a big thank you. So, so thank you. Thank you for listening to me. But also, the biggest thank you is thank you for you guys, because we involved. This wasn't just the event team. This was the tech team, the marketing team, everyone involved who brought this concept together. It was a fantastic team effort with a great result. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Do you have any questions? Okay. Okay, first question. Great presentation, thank you. Was it difficult to convince the developers to decrease that much the prices of the units? Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So some developers that didn't enter had that concern. So they were worried about, do we really want our units or our projects in a slashed discount event? So we did lose a small portion to that, but we were also able to handle that objection by saying that, reassuring them that it's a 12-hour period. That's very important. We can't do this for a week. This isn't a 7-day-a-month event. This is 12 hours. And And also, we didn't want it to reflect on the project, but we just wanted them to give us the best unit opportunity within that project. So in every project, regardless of whether it's super high end or not, there's generally some less desirable units within that project that they could find and offer us the biggest discount that they could. So we got around it that way. Were the results aligned with expectations? Did we expect more or less? Okay, thanks for the question. The expectation of immediate sales was exceeded. So we saw that the purchases were happening faster than even we anticipated. We expected to get great leads to these developers in great volume, but the fact that they closed quickly was a great immediate result for us. So I think that was one of the biggest. That's right. When we targeted 20 to 30 developers, we ended up getting 23. So we didn't get to the top end of those 30 developers. As I said, the price point was around about €1,500 to enter, which we felt was very, very small. So they should fly in. So, but we had to be. We were made aware that even now budgets are tight. So the entry point that you set in your countries is quite important, and have some ability to be flexible with it once you test out the first run of sales calls. Yeah, so Adam's just asked, where were the buyers coming from? Actually, we do have a very clear graph on that that's just not included in this presentation. So perhaps when we send out the slides, we'll include that, because we got a good wide global spread actually. Were you worried about not selling any properties? Thank you. Yeah, always. The event team is always worried about us not selling anything, because there's nowhere for us to hide in that respect. So we go into the motivation of every event is to make sure that risk is covered off as much as possible. But I think you have to go into each one with your clear goals and objectives, and go for it. Enter it positively. How do you measure the PR impact? Okay, thanks for that question. Our PR is outsourced to the same PR company for all of our events. Part of their service is at the end of the run of the PR, they send us a very detailed PR report. So it shows us the clippings and where they were seen. It shows us the circulation of that publication, and then they put next to each one a PR value. So if you were to call that publication, ask for what the coverage we received, how much would they charge us? That's their rate card in effect. So the combination of all those rate cards is what results in our PR value. Similar question to Adam. Who were the buyers, Thailand or international? It was around about 50% were in Thailand already. And Southeast Asia was represented another maybe 25%. So Hong Kong, Singapore, China. Those are the key ones close to us. Further afield, I think that within the top 5 was the US and the UK. Okay, thank you, Adam. Why did you limit the volume of listings developers could list? You mentioned the fact of exclusivity, but I don't think I get it. Okay, it was the very key point actually. Sorry, the question is, why did we limit the listings so much? Why didn't we want more? Very important actually, and we would do exactly the same again, because if there's too much choice, it looks like we're just lifting our website and putting it in another place for a day. So there had to be something. If the event was true to the concept that these are the very best deals that are available, then by nature that has to be quite limited. So it forced the developer to be focused on that. You can't give us everything that you've got here. You can give us only the best. And I think it gave the buyers a bit more confidence that we're not just splashing our property listings in another place for 12 hours. Plus, trying to get results on so many listings is quite tricky. Pass to James.
I'm just going to jump in here quickly. It's along the same lines of that question. We had a competitor doing a similar event. So as soon as we launched or opened our Black Friday event and launched the first campaign, they copied it a day before ours. So we ran off of their test phase, which was a day prior to ours. And we had feedback from our clients post our event and post their event. And they did exactly the same thing that Adam mentioned. They copied their website. They listed everything without getting in touch with the developers. They put discounts on. Some of the developers were really upset that they used their units with a discounted price because it's hurting their brand. The same developers that didn't want to work with us for the same reason. But they didn't get any response. So they copied their website. They had thousands of listings on their site and nothing happened. No one responded. No one bought any properties and they upset a bunch of clients. So we got better, exposure out of this. Our brand was built stronger. We have a better reputation with our developers. So I think that's why we needed to limit it so that we have this communication with the developers. Just to add to that question. Back to Adam.
Okay, after this learnings, how repeatable do you think the model can be on a regular basis? Okay, thanks for that question. I think repeatable for sure. That was the idea, is that we can replicate this, as I said, in other countries. On a regular basis, I think is key. That I think we can't do it very regularly because we need to ensure that it has some impact every time that we do it. I mean, already, because we've had such a great result, some of the clients are asking us to do something similar for them alone, which we're looking at right now. But we need to consider how we maintain impact of these events. So limiting the frequency to have maximum impact. But repeatable for sure. I think, in my mind, we're looking now at November, which is the regular Black Friday globally. That could be the next time that this pops up, certainly in Thailand. And maybe we look at Philippines and Vietnam earlier than that. That's an option. So why are developers not reducing the prices if they're not selling as much as before now? How does discount affect credibility / brands of the developers? I think that's a good question. Thank you, because it does affect, they fear that it affects their brand if they start to advertise lower prices. So if they have a limited space in which they do their advertising, i.e. their own website, they don't want to show that within their own site. They find it very difficult to find a space, even though on the ground, they're actually quite willing to be flexible. So that's why they don't do it, because they feel it's too much of an impact on their own business individually. But if you invite them to join the party, join a wider party of discounts for a limited time frame, we saw that it gave them the incentive to jump in. After the event, have they sold more units with those leads received? Okay, thank you. So we've seen these are all the sales that we've presented today. Those are all the completed sales. If we were to say what's happening elsewhere, I could say there's around about 5 or 6 very, very strong leads that are going through the process now with those developers. So they're happy with that. Those developers actually didn't expect sales on the day. They're really happy that they're progressing with some of the leads beyond the day, which up until today. Maybe, as I said, in a month or two, we can perhaps re-summarize the total results a little bit more clearly. Did you build the landing page from scratch or using WordPress or other tools? So, yeah, the landing page completely from scratch. The event page completely from scratch. So that's credit to Julian here, who built that, and Jerome as well, who took the brief and created something super simple for us to display, but that had all the functions that was necessary. So that's a page that we can now turn. Obviously, it's turned off, and we can easily turn it on in the same format for future events. Question here. So Adam just asked, what would we do differently for future events? I think some of those lessons that we listed there, such as explaining to the registrations how it works, making sure that they're ready and informed about what's going to happen on the day. Don't just take those registrations, put them in a box for 2 weeks and ask them to take part on the event day. That was really important. We had a few inquiries before the event saying, I registered 2 weeks ago, what's happening? You know, is it still on? So we made a mistake there of not communicating to the registrations as we should have done. That's a key one, because I think maybe some of those actually went to sleep. So we've lost a little bit of opportunity in there. So if you get that right next time, that's a big upside. I think that's the key one. So there's no more questions rolling in. Yeah, Adam just asked if we have a press release going out after the event. So that's gone out, and the first pieces of news just started to roll in this afternoon actually. So we'll collect all of those clippings and show the post event impact as well. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I'll hand it back to James.
Thanks, everyone. I don't have much more to say. I'm just going to stop sharing and hang up. Thanks for joining, and see you guys later again. Oh, I think there's one more. Great presentation. Congrats. Thanks, everyone, for the questions. Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Maurizio. How do we use the microphone? I know. It's a bit weird looking at it like this. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.